Hi there. In this introductory section, I'd like to talk to you about all of the different elements that go into making a great food photograph. Anybody can click the shutter button and take a photograph of a plate of food, but it takes a lot more than that to produce the sort of mouth-watering images that we see daily in food magazines and cookery books. The good news is you don't need a studio or lighting and lots of other expensive equipment. A simple setup with an entry-level DSLR camera and a couple of inexpensive lenses will be more than adequate. Now, I'm sure you've realised that there's much more to it than just the equipment, and on this masterclass I'm going to guide you through all the elements that go into creating a great food photograph. Let's take a few moments to look at what goes into making a good food image, just the basics at this point. So the image has got to be in focus, sharp where you'd like it to be. It should be correctly exposed, the right levels of brightness and shadow. The colours should be accurate and true to life. There shouldn't be any annoying distractions taking your attention away from the main subject, the food. And there should be a clear focal point that you are directing the viewer of the image to look at. So bearing all that in mind, do you think that this is a good food photograph? It looks sharp enough, the colours look great, there aren't any real distractions, and it looks like a decent plate of food. But I don't know about you, I actually find it a bit bland and boring, not particularly appetising, not very exciting. So what's missing? I'd like you to take a few moments to study this image and see if you can work out what's making it so much more interesting and compelling than the previous shot. The main difference between the snapshot that we saw earlier and this image is that this one is telling a simple story. And what I mean by story is that there's a theme, a mood and a setting within it, and we take out from this image that somebody's going to be eating a simple but quite delicious snack, and perhaps it's a supper because the light is quite moody, and it's going to be a snack of bread, grapes and some artisan cheese. There's a rustic theme that reinforces the artisan handcrafted nature of the cheese. And the hand in the scene also suggests that the product is handmade and the product is lovingly made. It's being carefully placed in the scene by a person with a white coat. So the story doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, the simpler the better. And it's not just about the background and the props that have been chosen to tell the story. In addition to that, the natural daylight's been manipulated to create quite a moody feel. There are some dark shadows, but equally there's the right sort of light falling on the cheese to show the beautiful textures, making that really the hero of the shot and reinforcing how artisan and handmade it is. And finally, the shot's been edited to slightly increase the contrast and deliver the intended look. So lots of different elements went into crafting this image, from deciding the story at the outset, to picking the props, managing the light, selecting the right lens and camera settings, and then the post-processing or editing to finish it off.